Pre-match preview of Southampton's trip tonight in the Sky Bet Championship to Loftus Road, where the Saints take on Queen's Park Rangers. I'm going to give you a full match preview. I've got a special guest joining me as well. Predicted lineup and your score predictions all in this episode. Thank you for tuning in, whether that's on YouTube, Facebook, or on audio format on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you may be tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the community, and thank you very much for tuning in. It's great to have you here. If you are new to the Football Martin channel, make sure you are subscribed if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you give the page a follow. That would make a massive help and just grow the platform and the community and make it the biggest and best Southampton community online. Right, let's look ahead to this game in the Championship this evening, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be a very interesting game. I won't be there. I'm going to be doing a watch-along live. I'm going to be joined by a friend of mine, Ellie Brett. He's going to be here on the Football Martin channel, and we are going to do a watch-along live. We're going to react to it, commentate on it, and we can get you guys involved as well. So if you're not going to the game this evening and you want to watch on YouTube, watch it on TV and have us as your second screen. It's a really popular thing now. It's quite bizarre, really, that people do this. But I will be reacting to the game as it goes on. And I'm going to try and do a little bit of commentary on the game as well, because I quite like commentating on games. It's great fun. But looking forward to seeing how Tonda Eckhart sets up this evening. I don't think there'll be any major changes. There hasn't been a press conference ahead of this one. I was waiting for one yesterday, Tuesday, and it never happened. So maybe there'll be one between this game, well, I'm sure there will be one between this game and the next game. But Tonda Eckhart is in charge. He's the under-21 manager. He's been brought to the club by Johannes Spors, and I don't know loads about him, but I did watch the under-21s against Real Madrid. The way he set his team up that night was very much in the same formation that the first team were playing in. So with the three at the back, with the wing backs. So for that reason, I don't see him making wholesale changes for this game. So I'm going to pop up what I think is going to be my predicted lineup this evening in the Championship. I just have a feeling that Jack Stevens just may come back into the side. I don't know why. I've just got a gut feeling that they may want to just bring a little bit more leadership into the side. Nathan Wood, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, I think will both start in this one. Alex McCarthy in goal, though I still feel you have to find a way to get Tom Fellows in this side. If I was the manager, this is not the formation I would pick, by the way. This is what my predicted lineup is. I'd have Fellows playing as a right winger, not as a right wing back, but I just think he'll end up playing as a hybrid wing back. Downs and Yander in midfield. Jay Robinson, for me, is always showing glimpses of real quality when he comes on. Plays the under-21s as well, and I just think that Tonda Eckhart, you will bring him in. That's my gut feeling. Leo Cienza, he's the first name on my team sheet. Adam Armstrong starts in the 9, but again, it's not how I would go about things. If it was me, I would just go with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2. I just know that won't happen. They play wing backs as well, so I just imagine we're just going to match them up. They do play with a very similar system to us. We'll find out a little bit more once Connor joins me from QPR. But that is my predicted lineup. Give me all your thoughts in the comments box below. Do you think that is how the Saints will line up this evening? We're going to have a little look at our previous meetings at Loftus Road against Queen's Park Rangers, and we're going to have a look at our previous meetings. So the last one was in the Championship under Russell Martin. Saints went on to win 1-0. It was Taylor Harwood-Bellis with the goal, and Shay Charles got sent off for Saints for a second bookable offence. Before that, it was a game in the Premier League. Saints won 1-0. Before that, it was a 3-1 victory in the Premier League. And the last Championship meeting before that was a 4-1 defeat. Then you go back, it was Premier League fixtures, and it was quite even, really. But Saints don't have a terrible record there, but the previous two have not been that bad at all. They're not great at home. I'm going to find out a little bit more about that from Connor when he joins me shortly. Give us a little bit of idea. They've not been great at home at all, and the last game they had was against Ipswich Town at home when they were beaten quite heavily. I think it was a 4-0 defeat at Loftus Road. So it is time for our guest on the channel. Let's bring in Connor and grab the inside scoop on all things QPR. And I'm delighted to find another superb guest for the Football Martin channel. Connor, a very warm welcome to the Football Martin channel. Thank you very much for joining me. First and foremost, are you surprised at Southampton's start to this championship campaign as a newly relegated side?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me on the channel. Yeah, I've got to say, I am surprised. I thought that, just like Ipswich, Southampton would have too much quality for this division. I really didn't expect. I thought, after the first few games, it might even out a little bit, start to pick up some performance, but that consistency's not been there, and it seems that that turning point hasn't quite arrived for Southampton just yet. I will say the element I'm not surprised by is Will still not working out, and him getting the boot. I just feel like the majority of neutral fans outside of Southampton only really know him from a meme, a Twitter meme. He's a name that's been bandied about for years, and it feels like the Southampton hierarchy maybe didn't do their homework, didn't realise that it's a big ask for his first job in English football to come over here and come to a club that are targeting instant promotion back to the Premier League. So I'm not surprised that part hasn't fared well.
Do you feel going into this game on Wednesday night that it's a great time to be playing Southampton, or do you feel like with the manager being released of his duties on the weekend, do you feel like it's probably a different proposition than what it probably was a couple of days ago?
I mean, the bizarre thing is I wouldn't have been confident either way because, as I said, with Ipswich, you've got a team that hadn't won an away game all season come to Loftus Road and then they put 4 past you at your home ground. I sort of had the same fear of Southampton was, Will still at the time was going to really need a result. Of course, QPR come along and will probably be the team to give them that. Now, of course, yeah, it does seem like a more difficult prospect to me because whilst you don't have a new manager lined up, I'd expect to see some kind of reaction from those Southampton players. This is quite a pivotal point for them, I feel, in terms of showing whoever's going to come in next that they are players that can be relied upon and that they have a future in this team. So I do sort of fear that bounce a little bit.
When you look back on your result of the weekend against Ipswich and the result, obviously it's not the result you would have wanted or the performance you wanted. The manager, do you think he make big changes going into this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is a sort of maybe recurring problem that's starting to happen. Is he's making sort of 4 changes per game, and whilst we do have that fit and available
What,
squad
he's
that I
chopping and
mentioned,
changing the side quite a bit.
yeah, constantly, and I think that happens a little bit when you're not picking up consistent results, but he's sometimes done it even when we've won a game. So, for example, the week just past, the 3-game week, we won midweek against Swansea. And then he made 5 changes for the next game on Saturday against Derby, and we went and lost 1-0. And it's like, I find it a bit strange to change a winning team. We've always struggled over sort of 3-game weeks, and I can understand there's a sort of fitness element to manage, but it feels like too many changes to make at once. And I don't think all of these combinations of players are going to work together. And that's really what Saturday felt like. It felt like we made way too many changes. We're seeing almost every game a different pairing of wingers playing game after game, and none of them are getting that sort of constant run to find any kind of form. And then both of the wingers are hooked at 60, 65 minutes, and you've got another pair coming in, and you're basically relying on a moment of individual brilliance from them to get you a result or get you back in a game. And that's just not happening consistently enough.
Yeah, when you reflect upon that game at the weekend against Ipswich, were they just really good and you had a really bad day, or was it just a combination of many different things, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you look at the Ipswich squad, and it's almost like on paper, it's like a championship super team. That said, and this might sound like sour grapes, I didn't think the result was reflective of like an amazing Ipswich performance. I think it was more us failing to get the basics right, and they just punished us for those. I'm fully expecting Ipswich. I think they're in a false position at the moment. I'm fully expecting them to be in those playoff places come the end of the season. But it really felt like we got those basics wrong. I mean, like I say, 2 of the goals come at the expense of a 19-year-old left back bombing up the pitch, leaving space in behind, balls
Yeah.
cut into the box, and 2 headers from George Hurst. And then the other 2 goals from Nunes were both free kicks. The goalkeeper Paul Nardi beaten at either post, and from pretty much the exact same position on the pitch as well. It's just felt like a recurring thing of, we conceded at the start of both halves. We conceded the same goal via the left back twice, and we conceded twice from the same free kick. Just really feels like we didn't get those basics right, and that's probably my bigger worry right now. Is what that suggests to me that they're not well organised, they're not well drilled.
Yeah. So, is there a few question marks around the manager? Do you feel already?
I wouldn't say so to a point of questioning his kind of, his job or his future. I think, we're 8 points ahead of where we were this time last season. We were in the bottom 3 at this point. We were struggling for wins, full stop. And I do think, he reacted quickly enough to the poor start of the season to give himself some time. I'd be very shocked if we, work ourselves into a position where his job is at threat. But I do think we're at a stage where he's not really developed that much goodwill or that much kind of backing from the fans, because it's all been a bit patchy so far.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting start, in a far better position in the Championship than we are at this moment in time. When the season kicked off, and we will have aspirations for our team, our club, and where we think or feel as a fan base we should be. For you, QPR, what was the consensus in the fan base for aspirations for the season?
I think it's always hard to find a sort of unified answer amongst QPR fans. Like I say, the last 2-3 seasons, we've been in a relegation battle consistently. Even when we've pulled away and found, over Christmas last season, we went on a great run. We actually found ourselves not far off of the playoffs, and then we absolutely plummeted again from February and almost got sucked back into that relegation battle. So I think for many fans, the expectation was probably, let's not do that. Let's build upon last season. Mid-table to upper mid-table would be a great advancement from last season. But we did spend a bit of money in the summer. We've got some talented players, a much healthier squad than we've had in many years now. And I think with that come increasing expectations, right? You start to think, okay, there's been a bit of investment. There's some depth to the squad. We should perhaps be aiming higher. What we're missing at the moment is that consistency that will keep you in that top half of the table or within, throwing distance of the playoffs. And unless we can find that way to kind of reduce being so patchy, I think it is going to be a mid-table kind of aim once again.
Yeah, it's a great football club, so well supported, superb atmosphere whenever you go to Loftus Road. For you, atmosphere, has it been good there this year? Obviously, you changed manager. There's a new manager in. Does the atmosphere feel good this year?
It's hard to say. If I'm being honest, I feel like the atmosphere's been better on the away days. I think at home, we've had such a poor home record for the last few seasons now that our fans are quiet, and
what
I
is
don't
the home
blame
record?
them.
What is it at the moment? You say it's poor. Is it really poor?
Yeah, I mean, we won twice at home this season. If you're going back to last season, I think it's 2 wins in the last 12. Over the past few seasons, we've gone on long kind of winless stretches under many managers. And yeah, we've just not seen us dominate or pick up that much consistency for a few years now. And I think that's reflected in the atmosphere, right? It's hard for people to get excited. QPR fans want to see good, attractive, entertaining football. We know we're not going to beat everyone every week. That's not what QPR have ever been. But we want to be entertained. We want to play that attacking football, and I do think that is the kind of football that Stefan wants to play. But his team selections aren't really reflecting that at the moment, and I'm not seeing that kind of game plan at Loftus Road.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to hear what you're saying. Like you said, you had a really good result away at was it away at Wrexham? Was your standout performance? Big victory. For you, this game against Southampton, I've got to get your score prediction. That's what I always like to do on the channel. I like to get the opposition's score prediction. How do you think it unravel?
I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Same as yourself. I think, like I said, I am expecting a little bit of a bounce from Southampton. I appreciate, the performances have not been good this season, but I would just expect, even without a manager, that with the shackles off a little bit, they've got something to prove maybe, and like I say, something to prove to whoever that next manager is going to be, because whoever that is going to be looking to see that response. I think paired with the fact that we are pretty poor at home, teams have been quite dominant against us at Loftus Road. I do think it's almost a perfect opportunity for Southampton to draw a line in the sand under what's been played so far and get themselves a result. That said, I think QPR really need a performance too, and so I think it is going to be a bit of a stalemate, cancel each other out.
Yeah, I'm going with a draw actually. I said it on your show when I come on your show. I went with a 1-1 draw for this one. That's how I kind of feel it's going to pan out.
Yeah, I can see the same. I think it's I think it's going to be a tight one, and Southampton do have quality in that team as well, and I think that's gonna show at some stage of the season, and no better time than at Loftus Road.
Yeah, Connor, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very, very
Likewise.
much for joining me. A massive shout out to Connor for joining me on the channel. I've been really lucky finding guests, haven't I? Another really good guest. And it was interesting to know how much their manager is constantly chopping and changing at the moment. So I think it'd be interesting to see how he goes against us tonight. Maybe does he bring a bit more experience into their side? But after talking to Connor, I feel a little bit more optimistic than I did before I spoke to him. But I do think Saints will put a performance inside. It's going to be typical, isn't it? The players will turn up and play this evening. You can just guarantee it, can't you? You can just guarantee that Steele's gone and then the players rock up. I would be furious if that happens, by the way. But they have to be better. They have to be a lot better than they have been in recent weeks. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the pre-match show. Get your score predictions in the comments box below if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I don't think we lose tonight. I just don't think the Saints lose this fixture this evening. I do believe that we will get a result out of it. Just a quick shout out, if you want to support the channel with a small monthly contribution, you can do patreon.com/footballmartin. There's several packages available as little as £2, and it makes a massive difference to running this channel. We don't have any sponsors at all at this moment in time. So if you want to support the channel with a YouTube membership or a Patreon membership, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I really, really appreciate that. Make sure you do get your score predictions in the comments box below. And join me this evening, if you're not going to the game, for a watch along live.